This is my research into, it's going to be 10 artists that I think are applicable to what I'm doing at the moment. So my first one that I have, then these all linking back into our themes of transition and things. I have, I'm going to butcher this name, Zadie Dwor-Belinsky, also known as the Nightmare Artist. He's a Polish painter, photographer, did some sculpting as well. The main thing I like looking at is the kind of earlier stuff from around sort of like the 70s and 80s. So he suffered from lots of mental illnesses, and one of them is to do with his nightmares were very vivid and very fresh in his brain. He did pass away in 2005 in Warsaw. So he remained in Poland, and a lot of his work is based around what he saw kind of as Poland kind of went through the Second World War and then afterwards. So it's just like a huge amount of suffering, and then he portrayed this through his work. His images are like really, really beautiful, and then they're quite grotesque at the same time. He has certain themes that crop up a lot in his works, and one of the things I like looking into, which crops up quite a lot just within everything, is kind of an organic feeling to everything. So there are harsh edges used, but there is a lot of like it's almost like living organisms, and he as I said, he portrayed his own thoughts and feelings through his own subconscious, which is different. So because he was a surrealist artist, is like unlike people who were doing it before, they weren't things he was actively thinking about. Those things his subconscious was thinking about, which I find more interesting. Um, he People can describe his things as quite horrific, but I think, in my opinion, I think they're very beautiful. Um, and there's almost like a certain kind of comedy to it. I think some of the things are so like absurd. So he has lots of themes of childhood and imprisonment. I think a lot of the tones are almost kind of Mad Max-ish. They're very kind of uses like oranges, beige. He does use stuff where he uses lots of other colors, but like the colors are stark contrasts. Like on the color wheel, they are like opposites whenever he uses them. His artwork has inspired lots and lots of different things, and it's very similar in its with its organicness to like Geiger, which I'll also look at as well. Um, I just really think his work is really beautiful and meaningful to what I've looked at within the transition themes and things we looked at during the course. And I think he links back to my work because it's though it's something I'd like to use more, is using my subconscious instead of trying to actively think about things. It does make it harder, but I think it makes it more meaningful. Um, and it's this kind of post-apocalyptic theme that it was almost birthed out of just how Warsaw and just the rest of Poland was looking after the uh, for the Second World War, and then like them rebuilding all of the country back from kind of being just bombed to absolute crap. And you can really see kind of how he felt it, like as a picture. Like it's some people say it's very easy to portray pain and portray suffering, but I think he portrays it in a really, really clever way, through making things very organic and human like, but it's not, and it kind of subverts your expectations. Um, I know he did suffer with his like I know the conditions he did, and lots of people speculate on what he might have had, but I think he used what he had to create some really beautiful images, and I think also the only other bonuses, he wasn't very problematic, and he just made really good art, and that's just what he did. He did some photographs as well. He used like using mirrors and things, but I was mainly looking at his paintings. He used oils. He used um like he used very kind of, it's almost very powdery, his pictures. So a lot of people put like glazings and stuff like over the pictures, but at the times when he first started and was learning his practice, but he didn't. He liked kind of the raw powderiness, and he also has some inspiration from Hieronymus Bosch, which I think is really clever. Kind of like this hellish landscape, which I think is really good. But that's um Belensky and what I think about him and why I think he links to what I'm doing.